God Ki is so strong that it can't even be
Goku
sensed.
learned Super Saiyan 4 after learning God form, so it has to be
Super
stronger.
Saiyan God is a god. You don't get stronger than a god. Was stronger than Super Saiyan 4, but he was completely terrified by beasts.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut the fuck up! God damn it. I don't want to do it. Fine. Fuck it. This debate isn't gonna solve itself. Apparently no one else is going to do it. Okay, so it's been brought to my attention that a shit ton of people have been debating, really just arguing over which is stronger, Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan God. Because if there's one thing that nerds love to do other than dedicating their sexless lives to stupid shit that only they care about, it's arguing with one another over stupid shit that only they care about. And since nobody in this goddamn fandom seems to do any kind of research for opening up their cockhole, instead they just choose to jerk off over their own useless headcanons, it's up to me, good old Mr. Zeon, to put this debate to rest. Because obviously all those other reputable DBZ fans aren't on my level. Cue my intro. Right. I don't have an intro. Do a title card. Something. Okay, before I continue, I should just go ahead and state what this video is and is not. This video is not about which looks cooler. This video is not about the base strength of the character using the transformation. And this video is not about which version of Goku would totes beat the shit out of the other. This video is about which transformation is more powerful, as in which transformation gives the biggest boost in power to its user and nothing else. Now I've seen plenty of reputable DBZ fans make several arguments as to which they think is the more powerful form, and they're all kind of nonsensical bullshit that's based more on personal headcanons and misinformation and actual research. And to keep people from throwing these arguments at me in the comments section, I'm going to go through a few of them and explain why I'm not factoring them in. Number 1. Super Saiyan 4 is stronger because GT is set after Battle of Gods. You know these are separate universes, right? Different canons, not part of the same timeline, and BOG doesn't affect GT. You know that, right? Please tell me you know that. Number 2. Super Saiyan God is stronger because it's literally a god, and nothing could be more powerful than a god. This statement makes me wonder if the people making it have even seen this fucking series. What about Kaioshin? You know, the next strongest god below Beers? The guy who could get his ass whipped by all the adult Saiyans? And what about North Kaio? He's a god, and he may be weaker than Yamcha. Yeah, Yamcha. That guy who's the butt of everyone's jokes? The point I'm making is that being a god don't mean shit in the Dragon Ball universe. And number 3, Shenlong was scared of Beers, but was stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so Super Saiyan God must be— Nope, stop it right there. No, we are not even gonna go there. Let me just set the record straight. This guy is not the same as this one. Yi Jinglong is not some sort of evil version of Shenlong. He is a physical manifestation of the minus energy that corrupted the Dragon Balls. Also, if you want to try and use that kind of logic in this argument, that means that Piccolo Daimao is the strongest character in all of Dragon Ball Z or GT because he actually fucking killed Shenlong. We done here? Now that I've got that out of the way, I think I've made myself clear. We should all be on the same page, and I can actually move on to the meat of this video. Now, to determine which of these forms is stronger, I'll be examining the feats of the characters using them pre- and post-transformation, since neither of these forms have an official multiplier. Now, before reaching these pinnacles of power, both versions of Son Goku face off against their respective foes using Super Saiyan 3, and both versions of Goku straight up got raffle stomped like a bitch. In BOG, Goku wasn't able to land a single hit on Beers, and Beers was able to drop Goku with 2 hits, knocking him out completely. In GT, it was a similar situation. Goku unleashes a flurry of blows, and just from Baby blocking a full force punch sends Goku flying backwards. On the second attempt, Goku actually lands the punch, but it doesn't even affect Baby. Baby then spins Goku by his tail and smashes him into a rock face so hard that it takes him out of SS3 and completely cripples him. So yeah, similar situations and outcomes. But I will say Beer's display was a bit more impressive. He knocked Goku back with a single finger and left him unconscious and in need of a Senzu bean with a single chop to the neck, which gives the impression that the gap between Beer's and BOG Goku is greater than the gap between Baby and GT Goku. And it would be impossible to know just how great this gap was if there wasn't for this one little scene.
How dare you! That's my power!
In a moment of pure rage, Vegeta closes that gap by passing Goku and raises his power high enough that he's able to land hits on and physically harm Beer's. And since Vegeta is able to do this at SS2, which is only 1/4 the strength of SS3, that gap in power between SS3 Goku and Beer's can't be that ridiculously great. So the gap between Goku and Beer's power is probably greater than the gap between Goku and Baby's, but just not by a whole lot. Now, what happened to these versions of Goku once they ascended to their ultimate form? Well, in BOG, after reaching God form, Goku saw a substantial spike in his power and was able to go toe-to-toe with Beer's. But Beer's ended up being the stronger of the two, with Goku using 80% of his power and Beer's using just under 70%. In Dragon Ball GT, after going Super Saiyan 4, at first it seems like Baby still has the edge, but Goku reveals that he had just been holding back to test his new power. But once he lets loose, the battle is a complete 180 of their last encounter. Baby can't even land a single hit. Goku bats him around like a tennis ball, and Goku even takes the full force of Baby's ultimate attack without taking a single scratch. Baby even transforms into an Uzaru, which is normally a 10 times multiplier, and this only puts him on par with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And before anyone points out that Goku said that fusion wouldn't even be enough to beat Beer's, and that this is evidence that Beer's is far stronger, keep in mind that Goku set his base solely on the ass beating he got, since God Ki can't be sensed by non-gods. And we don't even know what type he meant, Patara or Fusion Dance, which would make a huge difference. Now, after examining the defeats, factoring all this information in, it seems pretty clear which is the stronger form. So, what's my official answer? I don't fucking know! No, seriously. Yeah, I know all the evidence points to SS4 being the superior transformation, but that's only if Beer's had been using 70% of his power the entire movie. If he had only been using, say, 20% against the others, and 70% against Super Saiyan God Goku, that would make a huge difference. And since God Ki can't be sensed by non-gods, well, other than Piccolo, we don't get our typical throwaway lines about how much stronger X character is or has become. No one says anything about how Beer's must have been holding his power back against them, and since no one can sense Goku's ki, there's no commentary on how much stronger he's gotten. The closest we get to that is Goku saying that he couldn't have reached this level on his own. Well, yeah, that's what transformations do. Surpass your limits. Plus, the way Goku phrases it as a world he couldn't reach on his own instead of a power, he may just be referring to being a literal god and not the actual boost in power he got. Plus, we don't even know if God form is a multiplier like the other Super Saiyan forms, or if it just raises the user's power to a set point. Unlike SS4, where things are pretty clear-cut, SS God just doesn't give us enough information. And there's your answer. That answer being that there isn't an answer. Because any further extrapolations try to determine a victor, and you get into the territory of useless headcanons. And hopefully this video has done its job at getting across just how pointless this argument is, and will hopefully get everyone to just shut the fuck up about it. Because Super Saiyan 4 is better.
Step into the grand tour. Step into the grand tour. Dragon Ball GT. Step into the grand tour. Step into the grand tour. Dragon Ball GT.